This podcast may contain adult language, adult situations, spoilers, and some brief nudity, so parental guidance is suggested.
We have such sights to show you.
After about 5 minutes of this movie, you're gonna wish you had 10 beers.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Oh, well. La-di-da, la-di-da, la-la, yeah.
Welcome back to the Cinema Recall Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Random Thoughts of a Movie Insomniac here at Cinema Recall. I am The Vern. Hope you all had a tremendous Thanksgiving. I'm here today to talk about some films I saw recently. Before I get to that, I am part of the Minnesota Film Critics Association, and the fine folks over at Neon sent each member this incredible box set of many movies that came out this year in their season, and this thing is absolutely gorgeous. And I thank very much the folks at Neon, and I'm definitely going to be talking about a few of these features today and throughout the month as well. So very, very thankful that they sent me this stuff here. It has this beautiful booklet. And let's start this off right now because I did review a few films. The first one I do want to talk about is Alpha. This is the new film from Julia Ducournau, and it is about a mother who is trying to help her daughter survive this horrible disease. It's set like in this post-apocalyptic future where there's like this skin disease that makes everyone deteriorate into like nothing, basically. And after her daughter gets this tattoo, she becomes very concerned, puts her in isolation with her uncle, who is also going through the same withdrawal symptoms as well. And it's just about a mother's love for her kid. Now, Julia Ducournau is known for doing the movies Raw and Titane. And if you think this is going to be like the same level, like body horror that she displays in those movies, it's not. This one is definitely more of a drama than it is a horror film. And I think the actors in this one are all really good. In fact, I gotta look up right now some of their names, because otherwise I'm not gonna remember. Who are they? Yeah. Melissa Burrows as the title character Alpha, she's good, as well as Tahir Rayem as the uncle. They are good too. This is definitely more of like a family drama, and while there are some body horror elements to it, it's not that much. The weird thing is that during the course of the movie, the lead character of Alpha, she is seen in some scenes as like an 18-year-old girl, and then in the same scene, she goes from being that to being like a 6-year-old, and it's in the same scene. So different and strange. Alpha is not one of her best movies. I know that Titane won the Palme d'Or at Cannes, but I prefer Raw. Raw is my favorite Julia Ducournau movie, and I like what she does. I like the fact that she's just not going into horror all the times for her features. So Alpha, I'm going to give that one a solid 3 stars. It's good. I can see why a lot of people are going to be disappointed in this, but overall, it's very well done. The next movie that I do want to talk about that I did get in this awesome Neon box set is Sentimental. If I can find it on here, Sentimental Value. This is a new film from Joachim Trier. He's the director of Worst Person in the World, which is I highly recommend that movie. This one, Sentimental Value, stars Stellan Skarsgard as an estranged father who comes back home to make amends with his daughter. He is this famous filmmaker, and he wants to make a movie about one of his daughters that hates him the most. She feels very neglect and disdain for him when he left the family. And so when he comes back in, she's very hesitant about it. this is the movie where the trailer does very little to make you interested in the movie. And the movie itself is actually really good. It's a heartfelt story about families learning about their dark secrets, coming together. It's got a great cast in this one too, besides Stellan Skarsgard, and I wrote down some of these names here too. We have Renata Renesviv. She's also the lead actor in Worst Person in the World. She plays a daughter who has the disdain for Stellan Skarsgard, and then we have Inga Ebsalater Lilas. She plays the other sister who's more well established. She has a family and a job, and the other sister, she's a struggling actor, and she's having these bouts of her own life, and she's not feeling the same bit of confidence as her sister does. The film also features Elle Fanning as this famous actor who takes the role of the daughter in the film that Stellan Skarsgard character is making, because his other daughter doesn't actually want to be in the movie, so he hires this other actor to play her, and she has a great moment in that movie. I was worried that Stellan Skarsgard's character and Elle Fanning's character would have a romantic relationship, and I'm glad it did not go to that. This is a very sweet movie, and it's over like 2 hours and like 20 minutes, but I never felt the length of it. It's actually a very sweet story, and you would think that this guy for leaving his family is this curmudgeon and he's an a-hole, but no, he's actually very sweet and endearing. And in fact, there is one scene in the movie that made me laugh very much. I kind of wish I saw this with an audience, and it's a scene during the other sister, the sister with a family. Her son is turning 9, and he has a birthday party, and Stellan Skarsgard character gives him as a gift 3 DVDs. Now, I can't see one of them, but 2 of them, okay, so he gives the kid a copy of Gaspar Noé's Irreversible and Michael Haneke's The Piano Teacher. And I find that to be really hysterical that this guy is giving this 9-year-old boy these 2 movies. I mean, though they are masterpieces, but they're not the type of movie I would give a kid at all. So yeah. Yeah, Sentimental Value. Probably my pick for winning the Academy Award for Best International Film. I think that one is just really, really good. And I highly recommend that one. Apologize about the technical issues there. I was in the middle of talking about Anemone, and this is the directorial debut from Ronan Day-Lewis, who is the son of actor Daniel Day-Lewis. And this movie stars him and Sean Bean and Samantha Morton. And it is about this guy, Daniel Day-Lewis' character, who leaves his family to go live out in the forest somewhere. Sean Bean is his best friend and is a guy who basically helped raise his kid and is now dating his wife. He goes to visit Daniel Day-Lewis' character because he needs to get him to come back home to talk to his son, because his son is having these violent outbursts, and he thinks that's connected to Daniel Day-Lewis' character's violent outburst. And the movie has a lot of great acting between the two, a lot of great like dialogue and monologue scenes that Daniel Day-Lewis gives. It's clear that he does a really great job in this. And it's very well shot. Music is good, but it is so boring. It is so dull. I had to watch this movie in 3 different steps to get through the whole thing. Cause yeah, it's essentially he needs to get this guy to come back home to deal with the son's violent outbursts, and the son has his own, hatred, disdain of his father. And then at the end, when he comes to meet the son, nothing happens. The movie just ends. And I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to get from it. So, yeah, Anemone, it's like I said, very well put together and whatnot, but there's just nothing to this movie at all. I just want at least maybe like 2 stars or so. I can see why people liked this, but it's just not for me. It's not for me. I found it to be really dull, and like there are scenes that just take on more time than they need to. And also there's an end that kind of mimics Magnolia that didn't seem to make any sense. I mean, Magnolia didn't make much sense either, but these were building to that crescendo, so when it happened, I wasn't surprised. This one just feels like it was just came in for no apparent reason whatsoever. So yeah, that's a nominee. Not one of my favorite films that I saw recently. So yeah, next up on our list here for my random thoughts of a movie Insomniac, I have Kiss of the Spider-Woman. This is the musical adaptation of the 1985 Oscar-nominated, maybe Oscar-winning movie that came out many years ago. This one stars Jennifer Lopez, Diego Luna, and a new actor I don't know anything about, Tanata, and is about two men who form a romantic relationship while being stuck in an Argentina prison. Based on like just true stories, which I don't know much about, but a lot of people were uprising against the government, and the government just threw everyone in prison. Everyone that was against the government, they would just throw them in prison. I'm sure this is something that Donald Trump wished would happen, when people talk against him. He wished he could just throw everyone in prison. So these two men are forming a romantic relationship while one of them is telling the other about this old movie that he likes called Kiss of the Spider-Woman. And Jennifer Lopez plays the lead actor and the character in that feature. The thing about this movie that I do not like is that I felt zero chemistry between these two men. I mean, this is supposed to be a love story, but I feel like the love they have just turns on a dime, because these two do not like each other at first. All right. And then all of a sudden they are in love. And I swear I did not fall asleep in this. I just did not feel that. Also, for being a musical, the songs in this one just do not work. They just feel really out of place. A good movie that does show the beauty of musicals while also being a very like depressing drama is the film with Bjork, Dancer in the Dark. I think Dancer in the Dark from, oh gosh, what's that? People know exactly who the guy that made it. Lars von Trier, who did Breaking the Waves and Antichrist. I think his juxtaposition of taking very dark themes and then making a late musical about them works better in Dance in the Dark than it does for this musical adaptation of Kiss of the Spider-Woman. So, yeah, I do need to watch the original one from 85 with, I believe, like Raw Julia and William Hurt, and see what that story is like without the musical elements to it. Because, yeah, this one did not work as well as I really wish it would have. So, very disappointed by Kiss of the Spider-Woman. And then I think last on my list here, if I can pull this up, I want to just make sure I'm not missing anything that I want to talk about. No, I talked about that. Okay. I think last on my list here that I have right now for movies that I've seen is After the Hunt. And I want to thank MGM Amazon for sending me a screener of this, because I remember trailers coming out, and I really want to watch this. This is the new film from Luca Guadagnino, who directed, is it Call Me By Your Name and Suspiria. Really loves the Suspiria. Challengers, another great movie too. This one stars Julia Roberts and Ayo Edebiri, Andrew Garfield, Chloe Sevigny, Michael Subard. And it is about a college professor played by Julia Roberts, who gets tangled up a moral and ethics situation when one of her colleagues, Andrew Garfield, gets accused of sexual assault by one of her students, the AO Edebiri. And for the most part of this film, this was a very intriguing drama. And I like stories where you're not quite sure who the good guy or bad people is, because when things are revealed about each of the characters, there are some really bad things about them that they've done, but you don't necessarily think that they are bad people. And you kind of go back and forth about who to believe and who not to believe, because there are elements between these characters where you're thinking, well, they lied. And then there's other characters where did they do that? And you just wrestle back and forth about what you believe or don't believe. And I found it to be very good. And then the ending happens, and it kind of just throws all of that away. It cuts to the whole 5 years. Things are building up to be a really good climax. And at the end, they don't show you any of the climax, and they just show you the resolution. And I wanted to see how things became the resolution, because at the end, everyone seems to be good. People who were friends or people who were enemies are now friends now. And it just felt off. And this is strange to this too, because I want to recommend this film from the action alone, because all the actors in this do a really good job. And I don't know if they just ran out of money, but that ended just, yeah, it's frustrating, because this would have been a solid, maybe 5-star movie, but the ending just kind of just takes things and just throws them out the window or so. So yeah, after the hunt, I hate to say it though, but it's probably 2.5 stars, because it's really good until the ending happens, and then you're just wait, do we miss a part of the movie? In fact, I had to rewind it back to see if I on the DVD here. I rewind it back to see if I missed something, but no, it just I don't want to give you spoilers here, but there's an element where one of the characters is getting exposed, and then she gets accosted by people, and then she wakes up in a hospital, and she tells a very good story to her husband about why she does things she does. Yeah, it's good, but just that ended right there left me disappointed. All right, folks, I still don't need to say right now, thank you for watching this Random Thoughts of a Movie Insomniac. I do know that we plan on coming back later in December, because I want to be presented to you some 12 Days of Chillin' at Christmas. This is my episodes about horror films set during the holiday season. Also, over on our, where we did podcasts on, as well as our YouTube page, I am going to be doing our De Palma December series. That's right. These are just audio-only episodes where myself and a guest talked about different films in Brian De Palma's filmography. Check that out. Please check out my other podcast. I'm one of the hosts of the DDI Films Podcast, the Darius Does It Films Podcast, where we do review other new movies. And I'm sure I talked about a lot of the movies here on there as well. Also on our main page, cinemarecall.net, check out my written reviews of Die My Love and If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Also coming up here next week, we have our last and our Sean Baker series talking about Tangerine with guest Howard Kasner of Pop Art Podcast. Anyways, folks, I'm Vern. Thank you very much for watching. I'm excited for next week because I get to see Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. Love you all very much, and questions or concerns, please reach me on social media channels, cinema_recall on the Twitter, as well as Instagram. Facebook group is Crack Cinema Recall's Awesome Cinematic Club. Please support us on our Patreon page. It's on the links on the side notes on cinemarecall.net, patreon.com/cinemarecallpod. buy us a coffee. You can find all the links there on cinemarecall.net. Anyways, folks, love you all. Have a happy Thanksgiving. And I'll talk to you soon.